it's Abigail of Ground and Grow Yoga, and today I have yoga for your abs. So we're going to be working on strengthening our core muscles in both our abdominals and our back. This is great if you're just starting out and really want to focus on building that strength. We'll be doing standing, seated, and lying down postures to help with these core muscles. Also, if you are very strong in the abs, this is a great reconnect to make sure that we're connecting with our center when we are doing yoga. You do not need any props for this class, but if you have a block, that could be helpful. Hop on your mat and let's get started. All right, so today we're going to be working on strengthening our core. And we're going to be starting kind of simple and progressing up from there. So to start, I just want you to come and stand on your mat and just notice how you're standing. So don't try to change anything about the way you're standing, just notice how you're standing. Notice if your knees are bent, if you're hunched at all, if you're putting your weight more on one side or the other. Just notice how you're standing and notice how your body feels. Notice if you feel energized or if you feel tired. Just checking in to see how we are today. And I want you to draw your attention in towards your breath, noticing how you're breathing. Are your breaths nice and full and big? Are you breathing kind of shallow and up in the chest? Just notice, don't criticize at all, just checking in. And then I want us to start to increase the inhales and the exhales. If possible, try to inhale in through the nose and either out through the nose or mouth. I'm going to try to inhale for a count of 3 and exhale for a count of 3. So in, 2, 3, and out. 2, 3. In, 2, 3, and out. 2, 3. And as you breathe, really allow your belly and chest to expand out and then contract in. So even if it's a little bit exaggerated, just really breathing in deep and exhaling it all out. In, 2, 3, and out. 2, 3. In, 2, 3, and out. 2, 3. Good. So to get started, I want you to focus in on your feet because everything in our body is connected. So notice if you have more weight in one foot or the other. And try to center it so that we're putting weight into our heels and then pinky toe, big toe. So we're evenly pressing down through our feet. And then imagine suctioning up. Knees are going to be slightly bent. Standing up nice and tall. The shoulders don't have to be pulled way back, but we do want to bring them at least in line with the hips here. And then head is up straight. Let the fire engines go by. So now we're going to draw our attention to our core. I want you to notice if you are allowing yourself to kind of our butt out. So creating that little bit of a Beyonce booty there, or if we're tucked under and sending our hips forward more. Now obviously both of these are very exaggerated, but play with moving back and forth to kind of see how you normally stand. And oftentimes we'll also like bend one foot or bend one knee rather, but we're playing around with finding how we're normally standing, and then we're going to correct that to strengthen the core. So moving back and forth between these two postures. And one will probably feel more comfortable for you. That's probably how you're standing typically. So when you're ready, bring your hands to your hips and try to tilt with your thumbs. Just press on the low back a little bit to tilt so that we're coming into kind of a straight line. So we're balancing our tailbone and our hip points to come in, so the pelvis is kind of like a bowl. So we're coming into this position so that everything is where it belongs, and we're standing up nice and tall that way. So this is where you should feel your core engaged naturally. We're going to then engage it a little bit more. So draw the navel in towards the spine to help protect that low back. And the back is not going to be completely flat because we have the curves of our spine. So we want to make sure that we are leaving the curve there, but coming into balance. And it's a lot of setup, but it's going to help with the rest of the practice. So now that we're here, we're going to inhale, arms up, interlace the fingers, send them towards the sky. And we're going to bend the right knee and stretch towards the right. So keeping the core engaged. Now you're going to feel it through the side body, through the obliques. Straighten the knee, come up to center. And then exhale, bend the left knee, stretch towards the left. Good. Inhale to center. Exhale, repeat again to the other side. So bending the knee, allowing yourself to come towards the side. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend to the other side. Good. Back to center. Now we're going to allow our back to round. Draw the navel in our standing cat-cow. Really press the hands out towards the front of the mat. Round, round, round. And then come up into a little bit of a back bend here. So our shoulders are coming back slightly. You can see the curve in the back here. So round and curve. So we're waking up and warming up all of these muscles. Good. Couple more times. Good. And release. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lift halfway up and hold it here. Engaging the core. Sending your weight back into your heels. Keeping the knees a little bit bent. And you can press into your thighs. And here, in this flat back position, I want you to inhale and then exhale, draw the navel in even a little bit more. So you're probably not going to see this, but you will feel it. So we're here, our core is engaged, but we're inhaling. Exhale, draw the navel in a little bit further. And release. Inhale in. Exhale, draw it in. And release. And again. And release. One more time. And release. Allow yourself to fold over the legs here. Maybe grab opposite elbows. Maybe hands come to the mat. But either way, move side to side here. Breathing. Good. Come back to center. Bend your knees so your hands do come to the ground. Step your feet back, and we're in plank here. So you can decide whether you want to be in full plank or whether you want to drop the knees. If you drop the knees, make sure to also drop the hips, but engage the core. So we're coming down further. You might walk the hands out. But wherever you are, we're holding it here. If you're up, make sure to press your weight back towards your heels. Micro bend the arms. Hips come down. Breathing here. Holding. And then everyone bend the arms to come down to the belly. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. So we're only coming up as far as is comfortable without hurting our low back. So if you feel any pain at all, make sure you don't come up quite as far. And release. And this time come up and hold. Really press into the legs. And release. Bring the elbows where the hands just were, so elbows underneath the shoulders. Press into all 5 fingers on each hand. Pressing in, we're going to again inhale. And on the exhale, draw the navel up towards the spine. Your hips will probably lift off the mat a little bit. And release. Inhale, draw the navel in, really pressing into the knees and the tops of the toes. And release. And again. And release. Again. And hold. Good. Release. Hands come underneath the shoulders again. Press up. So we're in tabletop position, bringing the knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders or a little bit in front of the shoulders. Allow the belly to drop, heart shine forward for cat-cow. So remembering to move with the breath. We're inhaling forward, exhaling to round. Inhale forward, exhale round. Again. And this time, hold it for a breath in each position. Really allowing the belly to open up here. And then drawing the navel all the way up. Allowing the back to round. Good. Release. From here, we're going to send the right foot backward. We're going to turn. So we're turning, so the heel's coming back towards us. Toes are towards the side of the mat. Play here with where your hand is in space, where you feel more balanced. If you do not feel balanced at all like this, you can turn this foot so that the knee is facing the edge of the mat, and that's going to give you a lot more stability. It isn't working the core as much because we are more stable here, but you can play around with that. Now we're going to inhale, bring the arm up towards the sky. So we're pressing into the foot, pressing into the knee, pressing into the fingers on the mat, and reaching up, really keeping the length in the side body here. Good. Release, keeping the leg back there, but everything else turns back towards the front of the mat. We're going to inhale, lift up. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee in towards nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee towards nose. One more time and hold it out there. Bend the knee, but don't bring it in towards the nose. Instead, bend it out to the side. And bring it back out. 2 more like that to the side. So we're really having to hold the core here. We're also working the glutes. 1 more. And out, and then draw it in towards the nose and hold there. Step it through. Maybe adjust where the back knee is in space and come up to our low lunge. Breathing here, really allowing the belly to fill with air. When you're ready, bring the left hand to the mat, right arm reaches up towards the sky, twisting here. So twists are great for reaching all of the different abdominal muscles. So we have our surface level, and then we have them deep into the core as well as along the sides. So twists are great for reaching all of the muscles. Release, come back up. Arms come up towards the sky. Bend the elbows. You might bring the hands behind the head. And then exhale, twist. So you can imagine bringing the elbow to the knee. We don't want to yank the head down. If that does not feel comfortable for your neck, you can get a similar thing if you bring the hands down in front and then twist the elbow that way. Breathing here. Good. Release. That foot comes back. Do a couple cat-cows here. Noticing if one side feels different than the other side. Good. Send the left toes back. Turn the toes towards the back side of the mat. Walk the hand in where you feel sturdy. Again, you could choose to turn the leg to have more support here. And we're opening the other arm up towards the sky. Sort of modified side plank here. Modified gate pose. Good. The hand comes down. Turn towards the front, but leaving the left leg back there. Inhale, lift. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee towards nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee towards nose. And again, lift. Knee towards nose. Lift and hold. This time bend the knee but bring the leg out to the side. And then straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Draw the knee in towards the nose. And then step that foot through to come into low lunge on the other side. You might need to adjust where the knee is. Breathing here. Good. Right hand comes down, left arm up towards the sky. Release. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, bring them either behind the head or in front of you. to twist towards the knee. Breathing here. And then release. Hands come down, the foot comes back, curl the toes under to send the tailbone up towards the sky. Bend the knees generously so that the belly is touching the top of the thighs. And then walk the feet towards the hands. Inhale, halfway lift and hold. This time bring the hands out behind you. And we're going to do the same thing that we did here before. Inhale in, and on the exhale, draw the navel in. Even more. Inhale, release. Exhale, engage. Inhale, release. Exhale, engage. Inhale, release, and then release everything down. Walk the hands side to side, or grab opposite elbows and hang, rocking from side to side. And then bend your knees so the hands come to the mat. Step the feet back to plank. Again, you can lower to the knees, or you can stay here, really pressing into the heels, dropping the hips down, looking at the space between your hands, but a little bit forward. Breathing here. You've got it. And then everyone bend the elbows to come down to the belly. This time the hands come to the front of the mat. And we're going to keep the hands rooted to the ground. After you're done watching, you're going to also put your forehead on your hands. But we're going to lift one foot and then the other. But we don't want our hips to come off the mat. So we're not lifting all the way up. We're keeping the hips on the mat. So we're just lifting as far as you can and keeping your hips on the mat. So head comes down. We're going to alternate. Exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Moving with your own breath. Couple more. Good. Even it out. And this time we're going to lift both feet and hold. So working the back is important. You can work the abs all you want. If you're not working the back muscles as well, you're not going to have a strong core, and you can actually throw things out of alignment. If the muscles in the front are too strong compared to the back, then that's going to make there be more problems. Release. This time, lift, but also lift the hands. I would bend the elbows. You can keep them out straight, but that's going to be harder. So bend the elbows and lift. And release. Inhale, lift and hold. And release. And one more time, lift and hold. And release. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Press back to our tabletop. Curl the toes under to come up to downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet here. Really pressing into the hands, sending the tailbone towards the sky. And then you have options here. So you can walk the left hand in, turn both feet to the side, and come into side plank this way. Or you can bring the hand in, turn the left toes to the side, step the right leg forward with the knee bent, and come into a modified side plank here. And definitely play around with where the hand is. You don't want your shoulder to hurt. You might actually need your hand out further, or you might need your hand in closer. Breathing here, and release. Press back, downward facing dog. Then walk the right hand in towards center, turn both feet to the side or toward the right foot, bring the left foot in, but coming to side plank on the other side. Breathing here. And release. And back to down dog. And deep breath here. Inhale in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And one more time. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Step the left toes in towards center. Right toes reach towards the sky. Exhale, knee comes in towards the nose. If this is too much, go back to the knees and repeat the same thing we did before. So exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose and hold. Step the foot through. So here I would suggest bending the back knee to come up and then straightening it. And then hands can either come to the hips or you can inhale them up and again bring them behind the head. But we're going to turn to the side. So we're either hands on our hips or hands behind the head. I like to bring hands behind the head because then I'm not moving my core. My hands are not part of it that way. You could also open up to the side once you're turned. Breathing here. Good. Release. Hands come down. Step that foot back. And we're in plank again. Breathing here. When you're ready, press back to downward facing dog. Pedaling it out. Good. Right toes come in, left toes up towards the sky. Exhale, knee comes towards nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose and hold. Step it through. Again, maybe bending that back knee to come up and then straightening it out. Hands come either to hips and turn or up and behind the head to turn. Maybe you then open them out to the side. Breathing here. Good. Release. come down, foot steps back. Last plank here. Breathing, embracing the shake. And then maybe you bring the knees down, elbows down, fingers interlaced, then curl the toes back under to press up to dolphin. So this is essentially a forearm plank and then lifting to down dog, which becomes dolphin. Everyone, wherever you are, walk the hands and feet together. And roll up slowly. From here, step the feet out wide so we can come down into our goddess. Arms come out to the side. Breathing here. Maybe you scoot a little bit lower. Again, being careful, just like we were at the beginning of class, to make sure that you're not sending the butt out, or it's pretty hard to send it forward, but to make sure we're keeping it underneath us here in alignment. Arms out. We're going to exhale, bring the elbow down, inhale up. Exhale down, inhale up. So working with your breath. Couple more. Make sure to even it out. And straighten the legs. Turn the toes towards the side of the mat. Hands come to the hips. And we're going to lean forward here again, stopping in that half back position. Lower the hands down, so we're still halfway. We're lowering the hands towards the ground. They might touch, they might not. Mine don't here. And then we're going to inhale, one arm up towards the sky. So if I brought the hand down here, then I wouldn't be using the abs quite as much. Good. Switch. The hand comes down to meet the other one comes up towards the sky. Good. Release. From here, bring the feet in and either come down through a squat or you can just bend both knees and come to sit down. We're coming down to our mat. Into a comfortable seat of your choice. And then your hands are going to come to your knees. And we're going to go in circles here, making sure the hips don't leave the ground. If they start to come up, make your circles smaller. We don't want the hips to come up off the ground. We're moving just from the core. We're not using the hands to bring us around either. So if you need to not touch your knees, you can do that too. Make sure to switch directions if you haven't already. Good. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, turn towards one side. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, turn towards the other side. Come back to center. Left hand comes down to the mat or to a block or book if the mat requires you to scrunch over. You could also use your fingertips. But inhale the right arm out, up, and then over. But we're not trying to actually go all the way over. We want to keep length in both sides. So we're mostly reaching diagonally towards the ceiling. Good, and then when you're ready, you can allow the chest to collapse and draw the fingers over towards the hands. So they might touch, they might not. And up. Exhale, twist. And up. One more time. Exhale, twist. And up. Right hand comes down, left arm up and over. Breathing here. And then when you're ready, allow the chest to collapse, to bring the hand down and up. Down and up, down and up. Good. Release the hands, turn so that the feet are towards the front of your mat. You're going to bring the hands behind you. You can either have the fingers in towards you or away from you. That's dependent on your shoulders and how your arms are feeling. One is not better than the other. And we're going to inhale, lift the chest up. And then pressing into the feet, pressing into the hands, we're going to send the tailbone so that it's at an angle more. So we were sitting up, now we're sending the tailbone forward. Hands might need to also walk back and bend, or just walk back if they're like this. And we're going to draw the navel in towards the spine. We're going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. You might also lift them straight and then bend them back in. So you should be feeling this in your low abs. If you're feeling it somewhere else, try leaning back further, because you should be feeling it like here. Good, couple more. Good, make sure to even it out. And then I want you to come up so that you can release the hands. So I still have the tailbone at an angle. And if the tailbone hurts here, you could always bring a blanket or something underneath, or just come back further. You'll just probably need the hands to help you if you are back further. So coming into this position, we're going to then bring the hands behind the head and turn from side to side. So we're doing this nice and slow, and we're keeping the chest nice and open. Breathing here. So we're not crunching up, we're actually keeping the abs in the same place. And we're just using the oblique muscles to move side to side. And if having your hands behind your head is just messing you up, you can bring the hands out front, fingers pointing outward, and do it that way. Breathing here. Good. Come back to center. Bring the feet together. So we're coming into a butterfly pose here, but the legs are off the ground. And then we're going to lean back and come up. So we're coming all the way up into our butterfly and then back as far as you can go. Up and back. You might also bring the hands up over the head if you have space. Moving mindfully with the breath. You can imagine rolling up vertebra by vertebra through the spine. The spine is all connected and doesn't actually do that, but it is a nice visual. Move slowly through each place. You're not going to get as much if you're just going up and back quickly. You really want to engage the muscles and feel each little movement. Good. Come back up. Feet come back flat on the mat. Hands come behind the knees. Lift the legs parallel to the floor. Again, lean back so that we're at an angle here. And maybe you stay here. Maybe you release the hands. Maybe you let the legs go out long. Maybe you reach the arms towards the sky. Wherever you are today, breathing here. And you could move between them if you need that movement. So it's still working muscles. Obviously, static holds are working differently. And release. Scoot the tailbone towards the feet. Allow yourself to roll back. Bring the feet again in towards the tailbone. Hands press into the mat. And we're going to lift. We're not so much doing this for the glutes. So we're just going to lift and draw the navel in like we did before. And lower. Lift, draw the navel in and kind of up towards the chest. And lower. So you can press into the hands here. So it's not about moving up that far. It's about drawing the navel in here. So the low back is working and the abdominals are working. Two more. Good. And release. Draw the knees in towards the chest and do little circles here. Try to keep the low back on the mat. In the other direction. And then drop the feet towards the mat. Walk the feet out to the side and allow the knees to fall together. And then bring the hands to the belly. You can rub down here or in a circle. Just giving the abdominals a little bit of love. And then send the feet out long. Hands can either stay on the abs or you can allow them to fall to the side. And I want you to draw your attention back to your breathing. Really allowing the belly to expand up towards the sky. And then relax down in towards the spine. And then snuggle the shoulder blades underneath the chest. Allow the hands to fall to the side, palms open. Feet also can fall out towards the side. Adjust the neck. Imagine there's room for an apple between your chest and your chin. And settle into Shavasana. Allowing our practice to wash over you. Allowing it to sink into the muscles. And you'll hear my voice again in a few minutes. When you're ready, start to draw your attention back to the body, back to the breath. Finding a little bit of movement by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Doing little circles with the wrists. Allowing the feet to windshield wiper back and forth. And the head to rock from side to side. Maybe you stretch the arms up over the head. Feet out towards the bottom of the mat. Before bending the knees, to roll over onto your side. So in this position here, this time we're going to bat the eyelids open. Before slowly pushing ourselves up. And we're going to push ourselves all the way up, back to standing. So nice and slow since we've been laying down. Standing up here. Come back into our equilibrium. Making sure that the feet are steady, the knees are slightly bent. The hips are level and we're not sending ourselves forward or back. We're just right here in the middle. Shoulders relaxed down, chest lifted. We're going to bring one hand to the belly and one hand to the chest. Inhaling in here. Feeling them both expand. And exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And again. Allow yourself to rock gently from side to side here. Maybe forward and back. Rocking on the feet. And release the hands and allow them to move from side to side. Before coming back to stillness, bringing the hands together at heart center. Thank you for taking this time for yourself. Thank you for taking this time with me. Make sure to check in with your core throughout the day. Have a wonderful day. Namaste. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Subscribers allow me to continue to make free content. If you enjoyed this video, you might like the videos in this playlist here. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.